You won't hear this on mainstream crypto YouTube. Not from the hype merchants selling dreams for clicks. Not from the endless parade of thumbnails screaming 100x LTOIN or next Shiba Inu. And definitely not from the voices stuck on rinse and repeat narratives about Bitcoin having cycles and Ethereum gas updates. Because while the spotlight stays glued to the obvious, something else is happening. Off the radar, beneath the noise, outside the herd, a storm is building. One project, Hedera HBAR, is quietly rewriting the rules. Not with marketing gimmicks or social media hype, but with real infrastructure, real adoption, and real utility. This isn't a coin trying to go viral. This is a network engineered to dominate. Backed by the likes of Google, IBM, LG, Boeing, and Dell, Hedera isn't trying to fit in with the crypto crowd. It's building the foundation for the next internet. While the rest of the market chases pump and dump cycles, Hedera is building enterprise-grade rails for governments, corporations, CBDCs, tokenized assets, identity solutions, the kind of high-level systems that actually run the world. And here's the kicker. The market hasn't caught on. Not yet. But in the next 90 days, that changes. HBAR isn't just lining up a breakout. It's primed to explode. We're talking about a time-sensitive convergence of catalysts, major unlock periods ending, real-world integrations going live, ecosystem expansion across DeFi, NFTs, and enterprise applications, institutional positioning behind the scenes. This isn't hopium. This isn't hype for the sake of engagement. This is momentum, calculated, deliberate, and almost invisible until it isn't. By the time the headlines catch up, by the time the influencers start screaming, HBAR is pumping, the smart money will already be in, and everyone else will be left wondering how they missed it. So ask yourself, are you chasing the trend or spotting it before it hits? Because moments like this don't announce themselves. They unfold quietly and reward those who were watching while the rest of the market was distracted. This is that moment. This is that coin. So lock in, watch closely, and whatever you do, don't blink. Because Hedera HBAR is about to remind the entire crypto world why sleeping on the quiet ones is always the biggest mistake. The storm you don't see coming. In crypto, timing is everything. Every cycle, there's a moment when the market is too distracted to notice what's really happening. And every cycle, there's that one project, the silent operator, that moves with precision while everyone else chases noise. In 2017, it was XRP. In 2021, it was Solana. And now, in the midst of another chaotic chapter in crypto, Hedera HBAR is loading the same kind of power. Only this time, it's quieter, deeper, and more deliberate than anything we've seen before. Right now, the spotlight is blinding. Influencers are screaming about the next meme coin. Speculators are gambling on AI tokens, dog coins, and layer 2s that pump for 2 days and vanish into dust. Meanwhile, HBAR is building behind the scenes, quietly forming the foundation of something that could reshape not just crypto, but the entire future of digital infrastructure. And nobody's watching. That's how you know it's real. Let's talk facts. Hedera isn't just a coin. It's a network governed by titans. Google, IBM, Boeing, LG, Dell, Standard Bank, Deutsche Telekom Nomura. These aren't just logos on a website. These are global institutions, actively sitting on Hedera's governing council, helping to shape its direction, approve upgrades, and integrate it into real-world systems. Think about that. This isn't a project that needs to beg for attention. It's one that's already being used by governments, by corporations, by enterprise clients who don't care about hype. They care about reliability, speed, and security. HBAR is built on Hashgraph, not blockchain, a revolutionary consensus technology that blows traditional systems out of the water. 10,000 plus transactions per second. Finality in under 5 seconds. Fixed microscopic fees. Carbon negative performance. It doesn't just work better, it works at enterprise scale. The kind of scale that powers banks, logistics chains, digital IDs, smart cities, CBDCs, not fantasy but active development. But here's the irony. Because HBAR isn't loud, most people overlook it. Because it doesn't chase the spotlight, most traders think it's irrelevant. Because it's not volatile enough for 5-minute candles, the crypto bros call it boring. But let me tell you something. Boring is how institutional wealth accumulates. Boring is how foundations are built. Boring is the silence before a rocket breaks the atmosphere. And right now, HBAR is sitting in that exact place. Quiet, coiled, and ready to launch. Let's zoom out. Over the past year, Hedera has been laying bricks, not bait. No celebrity endorsements. No fake partnerships. Just real-world pilots with real-world impact, like building a nationwide digital identity platform in Africa, working with governments on green finance and public transparency, powering energy tracking systems in Europe, becoming a top candidate for central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. These aren't ideas. These are live deployments with serious money behind them. And here's the truth most people can't see yet. HBAR isn't being built to dominate the altcoin charts. It's being built to power the next financial era. The next time your favorite influencer posts a thumbnail with a rocket and HBAR 100x, it'll already be too late, because by then the quiet phase will be over. And the breakout? It'll be violent, fast, unforgiving. This is the phase that separates tourists from visionaries. The accumulation zone before recognition. The silence before the siren. And when the detonation hits, the ones who saw it coming will look like prophets. The rest will just look surprised. So before we move on, ask yourself, are you still chasing noise? Or are you finally ready to listen to the silence? Because Hedera HBAR is not preparing for a pump. It's preparing for a takeover. The technology that changes everything. Let's be clear, this isn't just about a coin. This is about a completely different framework for how digital systems operate. Hedera doesn't just improve blockchain, it leaves blockchain behind entirely. While Ethereum is still struggling to scale, and Solana is trying to stay online during high demand, Hedera is built different. Because it's not built on blockchain at all. It's powered by something more advanced, more secure, and far more efficient. Hashgraph. Now, let's break that down, not with technical fluff, but real-world impact. Hashgraph is a consensus algorithm that doesn't chain blocks together like traditional systems. Instead, it uses something called a gossip about gossip protocol and virtual voting, which, in simple terms, means that transactions spread across the network instantly without waiting for miners or validators to reach agreement block by block. The result? Over 10,000 transactions per second, real, tested throughput. Finality in 3 to 5 seconds, no pending, no maybe, just done. Microscopic, fixed fees, we're talking fractions of a penny. Carbon negative performance, cleaner, greener, and ready for ESG-driven adoption. This isn't some theoretical once we upgrade promise like Ethereum 2.0. Hedera works now, today. And it's already being used by real companies to solve real problems. Ask yourself, when was the last time a blockchain delivered that kind of real-world functionality without delays, bugs, or headlines about downtime? Here's the uncomfortable truth the crypto world doesn't want to hear. Most chains are still in beta, Hedera is already in production. And while influencers chase the next bridge exploit, the next pump and dump, the next zero-to-moon meme play, Hedera is onboarding governments, enterprises, and developers who don't want volatility. They want infrastructure that actually works. Let's go even deeper. Why does this matter? Because we're entering a new era. The tokenization of everything. We're talking digital identities, supply chains, energy markets, carbon credits, stablecoins, CBDCs, real estate, healthcare data, logistics, and compliance. All of these require a platform that's fast, secure, transparent, and built to scale at a global level. Hedera isn't just compatible with that vision, it was built for it. Now look at the crypto landscape today. How many blockchains can actually deliver all of that without compromise? Very few, and none with the governance structure, stability, and technical foundation that Hedera has. And that's where the market is blind. Because while most people still think crypto equals DeFi and NFTs, the real wave is about tokenized economies and institutional-grade infrastructure, and HBAR is standing at the center of that shift. This is no longer a project you can afford to ignore. This is no longer a tech experiment. This is a functional, live, battle-tested network, built for a world that's waking up to the blockchain revolution, but needs something faster, cleaner, and more scalable. So while other tokens fight over scraps in the DeFi arena, Hedera is quietly building the operating system for tomorrow. And in the next 90 days, the market may finally wake up to just how far ahead Hedera already is. When that happens, it won't be gradual. It'll be explosive, and it'll blindside everyone who wasn't paying attention. So now you understand what Hedera is, the tech, the structure, the reason it stands apart. But here's the real question. Why now? Why is HBAR about to detonate in the next 90 days? Because the fuse is already lit. And if you know what to look for, you can see the smoke rising. Let's walk through it. 1. The unlock pressure is ending. For over a year, Hedera's tokenomics have kept price action suppressed. Scheduled token unlocks, predictable, pre-programmed, have acted like a brake on momentum. It didn't matter how good the news was or how strong the fundamentals were. The market was weighed down. But that phase is ending. The majority of high-volume unlocks are now behind us. Which means, for the first time in a long time, HBAR is no longer swimming upstream. The suppression is gone. And with it, the resistance that's held it back. Now combine that with this. 2. Real-world adoption is converging. We're not talking about white papers or test nets. We're talking about live enterprise integrations, government partnerships, and public sector pilots already in motion. National ID systems built on Hedera. Carbon markets using Hedera for transparent tracking. Retail and e-commerce pilots experimenting with Hedera micropayments. CBDC discussions where Hedera is not just a participant, it's a frontrunner. These aren't rumors. These are verifiable moves happening off-chain and on-chain at scale. Most crypto projects are still pitching ideas. Hedera is executing reality quietly without theatrics. 3. The institutional gate is about to open. Here's the part almost no one is talking about. Institutions are circling. Hedera has been aligning itself with the values institutional money needs. ESG compliance, regulatory friendliness, fixed transaction costs, governance that feels familiar to enterprise players. And as the market begins to rotate back toward fundamentals, which it always does after the hype fades, HBAR fits the new narrative perfectly. Big money wants scalable, legal, reliable infrastructure. They don't want drama. They want results. And Hedera delivers that on every front. 4. DeFi, NFTs, and ecosystem growth are catching fire. You may not hear about it yet, but Hedera's DeFi ecosystem is finally gaining momentum. DEXs, stablecoin protocols, NFT platforms, smart contract tooling, all of it is accelerating. TVL is climbing. Developer activity is growing. And with the recent upgrades to Hedera's smart contract capabilities, more EVM-compatible projects are coming online fast. You think Solana's NFT moment was wild? Wait until Hedera's ultra-fast, near-zero-cost network becomes the new playground. The tools are ready. The users are coming. The timing is perfect. 5. The chart is coiling like a spring. Look at BAR's chart. Really look at it. We're not in a freefall. We're not in a hype spike. We're in something far more dangerous for those who ignore it. Consolidation. Flat, steady, boring price action. Just the way the whales like it. This is accumulation, plain and simple. And when the coil snaps, the breakout will be fast, violent, and likely irreversible. Those who wait for confirmation will be late. Those who are watching now, they'll already be in position. This is a window, and it's closing. These next 90 days aren't just bullish. They're pivotal. Because when token unlocks ease, adoption aligns, and institutional money floods in, HBAR won't move gradually. It will launch. You don't get many windows like this in crypto. And when you do, you either take the shot, or you watch history happen without you. The setup most will miss. Every bull run has a moment, not a chart pattern. Not a tweet, but a moment where the energy shifts and almost no one recognizes it until it's too late. Right now, Hedera HBAR is standing at that moment. Not because of hype, not because of influencers, but because of a perfect collision between market psychology, fundamentals, and silence. The illusion of boredom. Look around. The market is noisy, full of distractions, fake pumps, rug pulls, and shiny objects. HBAR? It's the opposite. It doesn't trend. It doesn't meme. It doesn't moon overnight. And that's exactly why people dismiss it. Because in crypto, we're trained to chase chaos. We think that unless something is flying 50% in a day, it must be dead. But here's the truth no one wants to hear. Smart money doesn't chase excitement. It accumulates silence. And right now, BAR's price action is boring on purpose. It's not weak. It's priming. Every support test, every sideways candle, every dip that didn't break. It's all part of a setup. A setup for something that won't just rise. It will rip. The trap is set. Because when the breakout comes, and it starts climbing, retail will come running. The influencers will flip their script. The same people calling it dead will be dropping videos titled, "Why I'm Suddenly Bullish on HBAR." But by then, the train will already be halfway to the moon. And the breakout, that beautiful, violent explosion that seems to come out of nowhere, will have been months in the making. HBAR isn't just building tech. It's building pressure. And when that pressure releases, you won't have time to react, only time to regret. From forgotten to front page. Mark these words. Hedera HBAR, the quiet, overlooked asset of today, could be the headline of the entire next cycle. Not because it made noise, but because it made history. And when it does, the question won't be, why did it pump? The question will be, why wasn't I paying attention? Final words, the window is closing. This is your window, not just to speculate, but to understand, position, and prepare. Because once the next 90 days unfold, once the market wakes up to what Hedera has built, once adoption, regulation, and utility all converge, HBR won't just go up, it will reprice. And most people, they'll miss it again. So ask yourself one final question. Are you chasing trends? Or are you recognizing opportunity before it becomes obvious? If this video opened your eyes, like, share, and comment bar takeover below to let me know you're locked in with vision, not noise. And hit subscribe because the next time we talk about HBAR, it might be from the top of a chart the whole world finally starts watching. This isn't just another coin. This is the quiet before the roar.